Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to yet another amazing session of Design Development Days. Let's wait for 1 and 2 minutes, then I'll introduce myself and Design Year and Design Development Days, and our, of course, very special guest today. Let's wait for 2 minutes for the audience to join. And please do tell us in the comment section how excited you are for the Design Development Days and the or how's your upcoming project going on. Okay, so without wasting any much further time, I would like to introduce myself. Welcome everyone to Design Development Days 2022 on the second day of DDD. I'm Arpita Gupta, your host for this today, and thank you so much for joining this session and being a part of our journey. We are glad to have you right now, and I'm sure you all, many of you are joining also right now, and we'll be waiting and we'll be waiting for you in the comment section. Also, do response and have a quick audience and give engaging answers also. So before starting today's session and today welcoming our special guest, I would like to introduce what is Design Year and what is Design Development Days. A little brief intro, just for those who are new today and those who want to join again. Designer is a community platform which emphasizes bringing the best of creative minds together to make the design enthusiastic acumen together. Our vision and mission are to upskill the design personnel by helping them learn or relearn from scratch to create UI UX projects, building an A-class portfolio, and exhibiting talents by a multitude of resources provided continuously and to go about in the right path to provoke the effectiveness of the vision we empathize the designers and plan our resources accordingly. So to join and to become a designer from scratch, do join designer and do follow us for more updates and to become and learn what we are here and to learn from our very special enthusiasts and mentors who are giving their time for us valuable time. Also a little brief introduction about design development days, which is in its second year. Design development days bring forth events, workshops, and competitions which will be fruitful for both designers and developers. All those for who are from scratch or who are learning, because they'll be getting very very handsome goodies and also very exciting offers at the end. Who will also or they will win and so, with a fare to keep learning the smallest new things, we know that the designers need to learn new things every day to upgrade their creativity. So, don't worry and join DDD for many more such events. From hands-on session to talks and designathon, hackathon that revolve around designing, designer is here to help you around. Development and innovation that will keep your enthusiasm and attentiveness soaring till the end. This initiative has all the great perks for the beginners as well as for those who are skilled. It's not just for the beginners, for those also who are skilled. So before welcoming our very special guest today, Mr. Pankaj Pramar, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Mr. Pankaj Parmar is a senior Unity slash Spark AR Lens developer at Prakria Marketing Service Private Limited. He's an accomplished coder and programmer and enjoy using his skills to contribute to the exciting technological advances that happen every day at Prakria Marketing Service Private Limited. I'll welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Arpita. Okay, and hi everyone. Thank you for your joining this workshop, and I'm really glad to take this workshop. Okay, so I'm not wasting too much time, and I'm so starting on the spark here, and let's create some amazing work here. Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen.
Yes, sir. All the stage is yours.
Yeah, sure. So it's visible now. Okay. So, firstly, I will give you some oral oral introduction about the Spark AR. What is the Spark AR and how you can use the Spark AR. So basically, Spark AR is created by the Facebook. Okay, and using the Spark AR, you are able to create the AR effect, AR experience for Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and Facebook ads. Okay, there are some major limitation about the Spark AR is their sizes. Okay, because if you are creating AR effect, so the Instagram size is 4 MB and the Facebook size is 10 MB. Okay, and you are only able to develop AR effects on those platform only. Okay, so is a very platform dependent. Okay, so like I will give you the Spark AR introduction about UI and its different parts and components. Okay, and after that we are creating one car customization effect like this. Okay, we are like creating this kind of effect today, car customization for any automobile car or like any car for branding their publicity for the car or any. Okay, so let's start with this thing. Okay, so this is the Spark AR Studio. Here you can see there is a different thing like create new, learn, recent project, open, and you can see here like create new. Like there is a blank project, sharing experience, video call experience, and there are templates here ready to use based on your requirement or based on your AR effects. Okay, so you can start here with this template using these templates. Okay, you can see there is a lots of templates here, so you can easily develop any effect and make it live on your personal or for the clients. Okay, so let's start with the sharing experience. Okay, so this is the Spark AR Studio. So you can see here there is a different UI and different part here. Okay, so basically we are like take a little bit explanation about all the parts and components. Okay, and then after we are implementing AR effect, which will be shown in the videos. Okay, so firstly we will discuss about the scene view. Okay, so the scene view is considering कि whatever the 2D or 3D object or any like audio, okay, or any objects, okay, you want to create, it will be visible here. Like if like you have to right click or you have to click here. If I'm like just I'm clicking right here, so you can see, so you can, there is a different object here like face tracking, plane tracking, target tracking, head tracking. Okay, there are 3D objects here, plane, null object, 3D objects, and 2D objects like canvas, rectangle, 2D text. There are different slides here, spotlights, effect are there, like a particle effect or speaker means you have to integrate your audio here. Okay, so if I'm adding one plane, okay, which is 3D, then you can see is visible here. Okay, so anything like 2D, 3D or any kind of object you can add, it will be shown in the same view. Okay, and there, and after that we are move to the layers. So basically what's the layer? So layer is the like जो भी ये मॉडल है, प्लेन है, you have to rendering view कि ये किस लेयर पे रेंडर हो रहा है, you have to you can choose here. Okay, so basically you can add the layer accordingly your requirement, or you can rename it or you can delete it. Okay, if I'm creating, there is a two layer here and I'm just going by default is layer 0, and if I want to change its rendering view, rendering layer, then I have to just click this thing. Okay, and if I'm go there and if I'm deleting this thing, then you can see by default is layer 0. Okay, so that's the part of the layering. Now move forward to the asset part. So basically asset in the Spark AR Studio, asset is considering the size of the project. Okay, any texture or any 3D object, any audio, any scripting, everything you add for your project is visible here. Okay, so from computer or asset library you can add this here. So like I'm just giving you, we need these things. Like I said, we need one car model, so I'm adding you. So I will explain you that asset part basically. Then images, we need this four images. Okay, and we need materials. Okay, so you can see that there is a one we have one 3D object, four 2D images and one material. So you can say that see here, like there is a one 3D object is size here. You can see there is a texture, different texture here, and is created this texture folder, and for material is created the material folder. So this part is considering the main part, and it is a based on it is a reflective reflect your project sizes here. Okay, so you have to be like if you are creating effect for Instagram, so you have to maintain it in 4 MB, or if or for your creating for the Facebook, then you have to maintain the size for around 10 MB. Okay, so that's the thing, and here you can add like input from the computer. Texture animation means animation sequence or any GIF you can add. This is the for the color LUT. There is a search asset library here. There is the inbuilt Spark AR library, in which you can find the 3D object, music, patches, textures, blocks, scripting, and color editing. These all things are free here. Okay, so you can use it in your project easily. Okay, and they have show you like how can you use these patches and texture here, so it will very easy for you to use this thing. Okay, then you can add also the script part here, like there is a two type of script you can add, like JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay, then you can use two type of controller here, animation playback controller for the 3D animation. Okay, and audio playback controller for integrate the audio for the AR effects. Okay, and we also create the blocks here. So like right now we are not discussing this part because it's a huge part, AR block. So I'm not discussing right now this part. Okay, so then we are coming to the material. Where you don't have any idea about material, how it use, or why this material required. So here can see that, okay, there is a AR plane. Okay, and now I need to change is visualize. Okay, so for that I need to I need to give this material to this plane. Okay, so right, I like you can see this, there is a here properties here, so you can see here like you can add, click on this plus button and add this material. Okay, so you see that a material is applied to this plane. Okay, now if I want to change this color, so I will go to this material. Then you can see that there is a different types and properties over here. But like you have to just keep in mind just two things. There is a different shader types. So when you are working on the 3D, you have used physical based shader types, and when you are working with the 2D images or 2D part, you have to use the flat shader types. Okay, now you can change its color here. Okay, or else you can choose texture from here. Like we have a four texture here, like blue, green, pink. So I'm using this blue. I will change the screen. Okay, so this why this is like this you can add the texture to your plane. Okay, so basically this is the use of text sign. Okay, now we are come to the like this viewport. So this is the viewport, like you can see your 2D or any 3D object here, which are you can like add in the scene part. Okay, if I'm like adding any this car to here, then you can see this car part here. Okay, so anything in the scene view, it will visible in the viewport. Okay, and then you can change is like mode to 3D or 2D. Okay, this this part. Okay, okay, so you can edit that 3D object or 2D objects. Okay, then after you have a filter like default, whatever you have to like visible or not visible, like FPS meter. So you can see here there is a FPS meter here, current FPS and average FPS. If I am clicking on that, so you can not able to see that part. Okay, I'm just enabling it. There are different views here like orthography, perspective, bird's eye. Okay, based on your requirement or based on your effect, you can choose the views here. I'm right now I'm using the perspective projection. Okay, then here you can change its position here. Okay, then it's put the rotation. You can change its rotation here. Then this is the for the scaling part. Okay, this is for the local and pivot part. Okay, and here you can select any plane or any kind of the thing. Then you can show here there is some properties here. Okay, so you have a question, okay, why this property here? So basically when you are adding any 3D object or any plane or any 2D object, is corresponding properties you can see here. Okay, in which there is a layer part here, there is a visibility you can on off. Okay, there is a position, scale, rotation, you can change it position, scale, rotation here. Like I'm just giving you 0, and then the 0, that's the thing, and like 3. Okay, so you can change this thing. Okay, and here you can add the material here, that's the thing. Now we are come to this part, to user setting. So this is a basically available for your how your effect look like in different devices, or normally any devices. Okay, so basically if I click here, so you can see that there is a different devices here, like iOS devices, iPhone X, ASC. You can change differently. Okay, just let me hanging. Yeah. Okay, you can select here like Android, Google Pixel, or any kind of the thing. Okay, but right now we are using default iOS 8. Okay, then you can here you can click here, you can change its video or anything. Okay, and from here you can add your real-time simulator. Okay, web file. Okay, so you can add your customization video here. Okay, that's the thing. Then like you have like you have a question like what's this icon for? Okay, so we will also discuss these icons. So there like a box of here, so you can see there is a show patch editor. You can click on, then show console. Okay, so patch editor. So the patch editor is the main thing. If like I'm just showing you that thing. If I have this plan and I have to move this plan, okay, from top to bottom. Okay, and this is taking some here. Okay, so I just want to like I want to loop a animation a plane from top to bottom. Okay, so what's the patch editor is used? So if you are right click, there is a different patches here. So I'm just creating one loop animation. So it will the word is loop animation, so it's basically loop your animation. And I want to change its position here, so I am just clicking on this part and the transitions. Okay, so I am just wanting 0, minus 3, minus 0.1, and 0.1, and minus 0.1 and 0. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, you can see this the position is changed because the start position is 0, 0.100, and the end position is 0, 0.1, minus 0.1, and 0. So I am just attaching this progress bar to this progress bar. Now you can see, but it's very jerky. Why? Because you have to click here like mirror. See, you can see that, but the movement is very fast, the animation is very fast. So for that we use, this is the duration. The duration, the more you give the duration, the slow the animation. So like there is a, like right now is a 1 duration. If I'm giving you 5, then it will show the animations. Okay, so basically patch is a main thing in a Spark here. Using the patch you can do all the things like like animation or any kind of the thing you can do this here. Okay, so right now I'm just filling in this thing. I'm not using this. And the console part. So basically console part is related to scripting. If you are using a scripting in your effect, then any error or any debugging messages, it will be visible here. Okay, Without that, the console is not very much useful if you are working on the patch editor. Okay. Then you can show here that's the reference video. We have already discussed this. There are three buttons here like pause, advance frame, and stop. Okay. So basically, it will pause your effect. About that thing we can discuss here. Just removing this. Yeah. So you can see that this video is playable like in a loop. So if I am creating on a pause, you can see is pause, and this is the advanced frame. तो ये क्या करेगी कि आपको एक जो भी फ्रेम है उसके आगे की फ्रेम आपको दिखाएंगी. So basically you can see. Okay. Then you have to play. This is like आप stop कर सकते हो जहाँ पे भी है. Then you have to again play, and this is effect is for the restart. Okay, so you can restart this effect and search. So you can search here any object or any things, like there is a car model here, so I will search for the car, then it will be redirect to here. So if you are working with the effect, there are so many elements or components over there, so you, this is search engine, this search option will like provide you very easy, and you can find your object very easily. Okay. Then you, this is the asset library, we have also discussed this library here. Okay. Then the preview. Okay. So we have like currently there is a two setting experience for the Instagram, Facebook, so you can send here, and the notification will send to Instagram or Facebook, and you can check your effect on how it look like on Instagram or Facebook, or you can download the iOS or Android Spark Air Player application and then connect your phone via USB cable, and then you can directly check on that part if you don't have any Instagram or Facebook account for the check. Okay. And the publish, so this is the main part here. So like after creating a effect, you have to publish your effect. So there are two options, like you have to publish a new effect, or you have a update exiting effect. If you're like you have already updated the effect and you have to change something, then you can update your exiting effect. Okay. Without changing your app ID. Okay. Then you can record the video from here, or else you can record already record the video using the links of Instagram or Facebook and upload from here. Okay. And this is the two main part, like file size meet requirement and capability meet requirement. If you want to publish your effect, these two part must be meet to that requirement. Okay. Like green, like here, like the requirement is meeting, so it will, I am able to publish this effect on Spark Air Hub. Okay. But if I'm not, then I have to, like if the size requirement, if the, like if you are creating filter for Instagram and the size is more than 5 MB, 4 MB. Okay. So here you can getting error, okay, the file size is not doesn't meet requirement, so you have to reduce that file size, and after that you are able to publish the effect. Okay. And here you can upload the effect, that will redirect to your Spark Air. Okay. And the export file, so basically it's creating one export AR file. So you have to, if you are creating effect for any client or any particularly company, or like brand marketing agencies or any kind of the thing, then you have to create this like create the AR dot project here, like I'm just XYZ on desktop, save it. Okay. So you can see here, this is the AR export file. So if you are creating any project for the client or any agency, okay, so you can send it this file to them, and they will upload this directly on the Spark here and make them the publish the thing. Okay. So basically this is the UI part of the Spark here. I have given you the little explanation about all the things. Now we are creating the effect of car customization. Okay. So let's start with that thing. Okay, so for that we need a plan tracking. Okay, so I am adding the plan tracking object here. You can see that. Okay, then I am creating one null object. Okay, and then I am adding this drag and drop this car model here. Okay, so now you see the car model is very big, so I have to scale this part like 0.2, 0.2, 9.2. Now you can see this. This look like this. Okay. So basically what should I what I want in this effect, like I have to give car customization. I have to change the car color and their alloy wheels colors over here. Okay, so like I need four option here. Okay, so just like in this video, this video, yes. Okay, in this video there is a four option here and you can choose here, and then the color and the alloy colors are changing. Okay, so we have to create these things. So for that thing, we have used the patch editor here. Okay, and for that thing we can use the picker UI. Is the Spark AI is by default UI. You can use this thing. Okay, just give you a little bit. The thing is here, right? Okay, uh, we can use this as a spark as none, make it none. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is the picker UI is by default Spark AI UI. In you can use this for your option. Like there are different option over there, and you can choose that option, and particularly option you can do your things. Okay, like I'm clicking on this blue color, then the car color is changed. Okay, so basically for that, so I'm just visible this here, and I'm using like blue, green, pink and red. Okay, still I'm not visible any UI here. Why? Because I have to restart the effect. See, now you are able to see this here. Okay, now I'm able to click this here, but the color of car is not changing. So for that thing we need here, like the car is here and there is a different material here, so we have to find which color, which material is for the car body color. So for that, yes, I think this is the one. Yeah, yeah, yes, this is the one. Okay, okay. So I'll just okay, and doing the alpha one here, and yeah, that's the thing. So you can see the color mostly. Yeah, yeah. So like there is a texture here. So I'm click on this arrow. So you can see this. Is the material color patch here in the patch editor, and then you can see that there is a select option index and selected texture. So we don't want the selected option index, we want the select texture index. So when you click on the blue, then the blue is applied. When you click on the green, then the green color is applied. So for that I will changes. Okay, so you can see that here the starting index is 0. So basically it when you start your effect, then the car body color is blue, car color is blue. Okay, or when you are able to, I'm just refreshing this. Okay, okay, now you can click here, green, pink and orange, but the car is static. Okay, so it's not look like good. Okay, we have to do rotation here. So for that I'm using one another patches is the loop animations. Yeah, then I need a transition. Okay, for that I will 0 minus 360 and 0. Okay, and I need to this car model to be rotate. Okay, in a y direction. But you see there is a fast, so I will do the okay. In here we are not click on the mirror part because the rotation we have to like in the loop animations. Okay, so if we are use if you are, I'm clicking in the mirror, then you can see that it like they start 0 से 360 तक round होगा, and then after it will be reverse. Okay, just look like, but we want that part, that's why we are not clicking the mirror thing. Okay, setting. Okay, so now we want to create this effect. Now we have to like change is alloy wheel. Okay, right now is alloy wheel not changing. Just clicking on the yeah. So you can see here. The yellow wheel is not changing. So for that, I have to click on this thing. Uh, Cycle, I think for yellow wheel, there is a material. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so I'm using this and I'm just selecting this patch to do this. Now you can see that the yellow wheel color is changed. Okay, if I'm creating green, then it will be a green. If I'm creating the select a pink, then it's turn into the pink. Okay, then red. Okay, that's the thing. Now once more, there is a no shadow here in between the cars, so we can add the shadow here. So for that, you have to click here on the 3D car object, and here you can see there is an action button here. So you can like check position on the face different, but we have to add a simple shadow. Okay, click this part. Okay, so now you can see there is a shadow part here. See if I'm like visible or invisible. So okay, that's it. So now we have done this part, and now we have to. That's the thing. Okay, so now you see there is a lot of parts here. Okay, and it's unformatted. So we have to format this patches like uh, select these all patches and create. Click on this and a group. Okay, so car animation. Okay, so you can easily group these patches, so it will be very well formatted. You can click here and you can see this, and back to main menu and you can see this here. Okay, so when you are working with the so many patches, then you can use the group patches, so you can easily group your particular patches and you can easily find that thing. Okay, now we are adding the music in the effect. So for that we need .m4a file. So we have a here like audio file here. So this is the thing. Okay, if you have any mp3 file or any other format file, so you have to change this that change the file into m4 format and change the sampling rate to 40 like 44,100 gigahertz. Channel audio channel is mono. Select audio codec to AAC. Okay, so I have converted this already, so that's why I'm using. So I'm just simply drag and drop. Okay, so you can see here there is a audio here. Okay, is the start. So we're integrating the audio. We can click here. We go to the play controller. Then we can audio play controller. Okay. I will just give you the music and cue this audio. Okay. And we want this in loop. So I will select the loop. Okay. So now what should do? Yes. Now I am creating to speaker. We have add the speaker here. So after adding a speaker, you can select your music label controller here. Okay. So now I didn't loop here, but we have to play these things. Okay. So when to play this thing, you have to click here like reset and all the things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, click here. Yeah. Okay. So when the music is play, so when I creating one patch here for the plan tracking, like produce patches, you can select. So this is the plan finder. There is a one like plan select patches here, and there is a plan tracking. So there is a five properties here like found, position, scale, rotation, confidence. We need just found. If when the plan is fine, the music automatically plays. So I will create this. Mm. So now you see, okay, you can adjust the audio here. Like I'm just creating the file right now. Okay, and I'm there's a thing. Okay, so now this is the thing. Let's stop here. One then the like BG music is already working on a loop. So I'm just this is the thing. Yeah. So yeah. Now when we have created this thing. So now if you are checking this effect, so you are not able to scale in or scale this object, okay, because we are not do that part. So we have to also do this part, like if we screen pinch in pinch out, then the scale in scale out the 3D model. So for that we need one screen pinch part, okay, then the pack patches. So this is the scale. The pack will transform it to XYZ in pack, okay, and the scale is 2. Okay, so now I'm just right on. Yeah, so you can see that if I get this vector attached to this, you can see that the scaling part is 222, because we have we have already do is 0.2 0.2. Okay, so for that we need one patch like divide. Okay, then we can go to here and we have to divide it 5 so you can manage our things. And now, okay, so now the scale is 0.2 0.2 0.2. Okay, so now when you are checking your effect, and when you using your two fingers, you can scale in or scale in or scale out the car model here. Okay, and one more thing I have to add is screen tab. So when you are using this ear effect, and if you are moving your object, like if you are moving your car, moving your phone, okay, so the car is like over there. Okay, so I need one thing. Okay, when I will click, if I am moving my phone and I click on the screen or middle of the screen or any of the screen, then the car is visible over there. So for that we need one screen tab. Okay, so when you when you click on the screen or tab on the screen, then this effect will be like it's set the tracker here and it's the position here. Okay, that's it. So now we have we can create, like, save this project here on the stop, like car custom custom. Okay, save this. Okay, that's the thing. And now I'm just 15 and this thing. Okay, now I'm sending these things to Instagram. Let's see over there. I'm just sharing it. It's uploading to Spark here now. Just wait a second. Yeah, so like this thing, movie recording. Yeah, you can see this. Continue. Yeah, so I have to just click here. Yeah, so you can see that here. Now you can change these colors. Okay, this is the one. See, this is the thing. So this is it. You have created the car customization effect for, like, this will help you for kind of like this is help you for creating effect for any car, any car brand, or for their publicity or an automobile company. Okay, in which you can also add some lighting and all the things, on your requirement, based on your requirement. Okay, so you can use this as a plan tracking, so you no need to go to the showroom to check the car model. You can easily check their Instagram filter and you can show all the features here. You can also add the features of car from here, like there is a button here, so you can add the different cars features. What is the feature here, what is the maximum speed of the car, what are the colors over there. Okay, so you can create the car customizer, full-fledged car customization filter for any automobile company. Okay, that's it. And after that, using this effect, you can create a video, and then you can create the AR export file, and then you can go to the Spark AR hub and you can upload your effect, and then you can enjoy it. You have done one effect. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So that's it from my side today. Hello. Hi, Pita. That's it from my side. I've completed the workshop here.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. We enjoyed a lot, and I hope the audience enjoyed a lot too. Anyone, if they're having any queries, please comment down in the comment section, and we'll be glad to answer them. Moving
Yeah,
forward,
sure.
sir, we shall have some questions to clear their doubts. I am sure they must be having some doubts, but they're not connecting right now, or they must be having some issues. So, without any
Yes, yeah.
further ado, I'll ask from them their side. So, the first question which we have with us is, how do we start learning Spark AR as a beginner?
So there are so many YouTube videos over there. Okay, and there are so many templates. SparkAR also provide there, so you can learn there. Okay, and there is there is a site here, the SparkAR. So in which there is a full-fledged documentation over there for scripting wise and the patches wise. So you can start over there. And in a Facebook there is a community, SparkAR community. You can connect that, connect on that group. Okay, and you can ask their question. It's very helpful community. They will also give you a whatever you ask any question, they will give you an answer. Okay, so and the community connect with the all over AR creator. Okay, so there are different AR creator over there from the different countries. So you are like very easily you can get the information about the Spark AR and all the things.
Okay, that's really insightful, sir. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next question, sir. Is there any roadmap to become a good Spark AR developer?
Like you have to be create or you have to be give your more determination to the spark here. Okay, there is a no shortcut. You have to create each and every effect. You have to show the video. You have to learn the documentation. Okay, you have to आपको जो भी करना है, you have to be deep into these things. Okay, and then you will able to create able to do a very good AR creator.
Thank you so much, sir. Just need dedication, and I'm sure our audience is much more dedicated than what we think of them, and they're
Yeah.
great insighters. So moving on to our next questions. What are the basic skills one should know before entering into the AR VR domain? Basic things which we
So
should know.
the basic thing is you have a normally introduction about the AR. Okay, so you have to knowledge about the what is the AR, how it works, and how it relate to the customer engagement. Okay, then these three things you have to need to be clear. And after that you have to search for the SDK or software which will provide these things, like you like creating AR effects or web AR applications, web AR experience, or Unity applications for iOS or Android. So basically, you have to like take a you have to get the knowledge about that softwares. Okay, and after that you are able to do okay what I have to start career in AR or not. Okay.
Okay,
And
so
right now there are so many sites over there. They are provide you a AR courses, so you can learn from that also.
that's really great, sir. There are so many mentors working on this project, and I'm sure our audience would want to connect with you. So we'll share your LinkedIn profile in the comment section.
Yeah, sure.
Do join Mr. Pankaj Pramar for further guidance. And moving on to our next question, sir. So, what do you think? What are the common mistakes developers make while running Spark applications?
So basically, they think that the Spark AR is very easy to learn. Okay, so the main thing is that thing. Okay, for that you need to be a like आपको पूरा knowledge होना चाहिए on the AR augmented reality. Okay, कि what is the Spark AR and what type of the effect you are able to create in the Spark AR. So they just show in the Instagram or any reels, and then they come to the like creating the Spark AR effect on the thing. So just you have to do a just basic knowledge about the AR and Spark AR and AR effect, and then you can start creating the AR effects. It will helpful to you.
Okay, so thank you so much for this answer. It was a great explanation. Sir, moving on to our next question. What are the use cases of Spark AR and the AR effects?
There are is like I'm not I don't have any use cases for the like AR effects, but if you like जैसे मैं काम कर रहा होता हूँ, तो I will just explain that thing. कि if I get the requirement from the client, then I am just checking that requirement कि it is feasible, is it possible in Spark AR or not. Okay, if it is possible in Spark AR, so how I do that thing. Okay, and after that, is it 3D or 2D. Okay, I will check that part. If it is 3D, so I have to create the 3D object for that thing. If it is in 2D, then I have to create the 2D things, 2D objects for that thing. Okay, and after that, start developing the things with the dummy images or dummy objects, and then I will start the work on the AR effects. Okay, basically.
Okay, sir, that's great explanation. So, what do you think is the future of AR VR?
Like you say, Facebook already created the metaverse. Okay,
Yes,
so now in
exactly.
future, AR VR is very growing market. Okay, I have started my career as a game developer since 2013, and 2019 I come to I get that idea कि in future the AR VR market is growing. So I have joined like I have shifted myself in the AR VR, and after 3 or 4 years, the AR market is now growing fast, growing fast, very fast. Okay, so in future, AR or VR is the basically the main thing in everything, not only the like IT department, in everything. Now you can see that there is a factory outlet or any outlet, you can see there is a AR. You can see, okay, they have started using the AR VR applications or metaverse. You can see that part. Okay, basically. So it's very growing part of it, and there is a very vast opportunity in the AR VR, in AR VR.
Yes, so that's very engaging also to the audience. I'm sure they, and for the audience, I must say, if you guys have any query, please comment down in the comment section and we'll try our best to answer them. So we'll move on to our last question, sir. Thank you so much for this
Yeah, sure.
insightful session. Our last question would be, sir, please share your inspirational story or your journey to the AR VR domain.
So when I'm started my career for the Spark AI developer. Okay, so at that time, I started in 2018. So at that time, there is a no there is a no documentation, there is a no tutorial on a Spark AI. Okay, so like I will googling myself, like, okay, how I can do this part, I can do these things. Okay, and Spark AI is supporting the JavaScript, so sometimes I will find the JavaScript logic over there, and I will try to do that in the Spark here. And if this that working, then this like miracle for me. And if not, then I will try. I will like digging something, and then I will come to Spark here, and I will implement. And then after, I am able to like achieve my goal. Okay, and at that time, there are no such a developer over there, so I didn't find any help. And if I have a worse experience, if I am asking for them, if I find some developer and if I asking them for the help, so they are asking for the money. Okay, if I am giving you like 1 hour, then I will you have to pay me. Okay, so that's the thing. That thing will help me to increase my knowledge and to do more work in AR. Okay, and then I am able, right now I am able what I am.
That's really an inspiration story, sir. I'm sure there are so many mentors working on Spark AR who are ready to give the guidance for free without any taking any monetary compensation. So, guys, the audience who are watching this right now, please comment down and please join so that you can have the greatest knowledge without any expenditure, without any monetary compensation. And join the comment section and join the LinkedIn link which we have shared in the comment section. Do join, connect with Sir. And thank you so much, Sir, for this inspirational lecture, insightful session. We'll be good soon have you good another. We'll soon have you with us another time. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
sure.
joining
Okay.
this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel all those same. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm like, okay,
We are
bye bye.
on our best way. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Sir.
so bye.
Bye. Moving on, we have our another session on Metaverse. Stay tuned, guys. We'll have a buffer time, and I'm sure you guys rejoin again. And you can take a break for 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll be back with yet another bang on session on Metaverse, and we get very, very fascinating sessions and very fascinating topics for our upcoming audience. We'll come back in 10 minutes. Thank you so much. Hello, guys. We have with our next expert with us at the backstage. Please do ask your friends to join the session. We'll be starting very soon, and we'll come another with a bang on session. Just share the link with your friends and tell them to join as soon as possible because we'll be starting in 5 minutes, and I'm sure you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for joining, and I'm waiting for more audience to join. Please share the link with your friends. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here with the another amazing session. Let's wait for 1 minute and then we'll start. And I hope you have sent the link to your friends also, and I'm waiting for them to join as well. And tell me in the comment section how much excited you are for the next amazing session on Metaverse because I'm sure you guys all are fascinated about the next topic as it's so trending right now. You'll get a FOMO if you don't know about Metaverse. So without any wasting any other further time, I'll introduce our very next special guest, Mr. Siddhant Singh. So, before starting and handing over the session, welcome, sir.
Hi Apata. Hi guys.
Hello, sir. So, before giving the stage to you, I just want to give a brief introduction about you to our audience.
Sure.
Mr. Siddhant Singh is an interdisciplinary creator with education in UX and trying to make things a little less boring and little more sensible one step at a time. With professional career in elevating experience across different mediums, he's also passionate about bringing crazy ideas to life, oftentimes surreal and driven by a comprehensive story behind them. So this is the introduction, and let's move on to further little achievements about you, sir. Um, I'm sure our audience would love to know that. Um, Sir has been experienced in immersive products 2009, 19, NFT curated showcase in Neil Art Gallery, Beijing for Stratosphere NFT Art International Exhibition to 2021. And also, he's a TEDx MIT ID 2016 production team experience in hosting TEDx. And so I'll check the comment section. I'm sure you guys are very excited to know about the metaverse and NFTs. So without any much wasting your time, sir, I'll hand over the platform to you.
Sure. Thanks Apata. So
Thank
I guess you guys are excited about this topic because it's been brewing around for past whole year. In the pandemic, everybody was talking about it. Everybody was going gaga over NFTs, and it was overwhelming initially for a lot of people, including me, to understand what it is and to get into it and what it actually is. So I tried to explore it myself before I got into sharing the knowledge with other people around me, and I think Design Development Days is giving me a space, a platform to share some of these things about metaverses and NFTs and how these are changing the dynamics of technology and experience around us. So let's get right into it. It has been around us for a while actually, and it was about time that we sort of pinned a title to it to take it seriously, and for other reasons as well. Hence, now it's called Metaverse. Um, and before I get to what is Metaverse, I would try to explain what it's not. It's not a restricted space or a device. It's not confined to devices. It's not just sitting around inside a VR world or virtual reality or any kind of experiences specifically. And most importantly, it's not future. It's already here. And we're already having conversations about becoming the metaverse instead of, going to talk about being inside the metaverse. All right. So now, when we already established what it isn't in a high level scenario, I just talk about what it is. It's basically, as we call it in simple form, the next generation of the internet. We've already seen Web 2.0. We've talked about Web 3.0 quite a bit. We've talked about Web 2.0 and the differences. Uh, Next generation of this internet is going to be an augmentation of that, of the digital experiences onto a real world, which is what we call metaverse. It's basically highly collaborative. It's fueled by social coexistence. It's fueled by people and not organizations specifically. It's a distributed network. It's a distributed space where all of us are going to co-create. All of us are going to fuel it in many ways possible. And various visions that we have about the metaverse can be spread out, can be seen spread out across different layers, which I will get to in the next slide. So we're looking at a small breakdown of how we can perceive metaverse in order to get into it. We have different domains. We're from different domains, diverse domains. Some of us are developers, some of us are designers, some of us are just creators and artists, right? And we all work from different departments. We are interested in different aspects, but we all can contribute to metaverse. And this is a very simple 7-layer system which I've sort of broken down to help you understand where you can fit in, and what's it all about into little simple terms. So when we talk about experience as the outermost layer, we're talking about virtual activity involving games, shopping, and work that has been accelerated massively due to the pandemic. And dynamics are only looking at revenue at this point. It's only going up. And subscriptions, virtual items, gamification, and immersive commerce are avenues to create meta experiences at the current stage. uh, Companies like Shopify and GatherTown, Fortnite, Microsoft Teams, all of these apps and tools are trying to spread across these layers that you'll witness um, in the form of live music, concerts, esports, fitness workout experiences alongside your friends and more in the same shared space. As we go further down into the layers, we focus on more into systems oriented aspects where curation and exposure will work in this space. The difference, with what we actually look at is basically the difference in the way we discover content. How will the creator be driving this whole venture in various ways? What tools will come to their aid? The kind of marketplaces that will come around or that are around to push these creations forward, right? It digs as deep as spatial computing to sort of embed these experiences around us, to create these infrastructure so that the metaverse can be around us in the real world, and hence coming down to even further deeper layer, which is called decentralization, which is sort of an optimal path to distribute all of these efforts that we might create, take as creators, as developers, to across these endless systems. We're talking about no downtimes or no server traffic and constant connectivity because it's no longer stored in a single location. So when we already talk about, okay, there are so many different avenues, so many different technologies and experiences you can work on, but why? Now that we already know about all of this, the question is why the metaverse, right? The big giants are already eyeing this tech as we speak about it, and the society is already apprehensive around decentralization, and it has been a topic of concern in the creator community for a while. There's a lot of work to do. This map that you're looking in front of you is basically sort of charting out some highlights of social technological domains that require some sort of momentum from our end. Virtual mainstreaming, or you can say digital identity, is now as real as our physical identities for a lot of people now. 50% or more than 50% of medium to large organizations are sort of investing in low code or no code platforms, open platforms, so that everybody can use it. There's hardly effort, hardly any effort in terms of customization, in terms of deploying your own ideas, deploying your own concepts into the metaverse. And this disruption can only be caused if the people invest in this space for faster and low code tools. When we talk about deep learning or AI or machine intelligence, virtual beings and collaborators will power these conversations, right, within the metaverse as we speak. The experiences that we're going to be in are going to be powered by some of these virtual beings and assistants and agents, which the behavior of those characters and those entities will be domained and governed by machine intelligence and simulation and cybernetics. And these conversations may even get to a point where you may even befriend certain characters which may not even be real, which is already actually happening in a lot of gamification based, game based experiences. But you'll see more of this coming along other platforms and other different tools as well. When we talk about cybernetics, we're talking about haptics, we're talking about AR, smart wearables, and these all tools and these all technologies will be elevating the metaverse to integrate it with our world. It will simply not remain a space where we go into, it'll be everywhere around us. It's going to be a simulation, which is real time, which is relaying real time data onto our physical reality. So this is when distributed networking or distributed acceleration or blockchain comes into play, where computing power will help us to sort of drive this in different directions and to drive NFTs and open asset streams for the community. This is going to help us own certain assets like unique artworks, game items, and even real estate in the further future. Now we've already talked about why, we talked about where. Now let's get to the hows, right? Um, the real question is, are we really going to do it in the right way? Are we really considering the real essence of scalable experience for mass audience? Are we really considering the people in the end, or we're just building certain technologies? So what I look at are these three building blocks to consider to build certain experience, build this technology in the right direction. The metaverse is a space that channels social coexistence, like I said before. So building anything for a solo experience may just become pointless. Collaboration is the key. A paradigm shift in virtual spaces has also brought people of diversity together. Well-being and ethical design immediately becomes a priority when talking about meta, let alone virtual. We're not trying to recreate the same society as we have in the real world. We're trying to build over it. We're trying to reinvent certain dynamics to avoid those social and cultural tension as we have in the real world as we move forward. As I mentioned before, this is not just about VR or 3D. For any of the domains to thrive, it needs to be accessible. We're talking about mobile friendly, low latency networks and wearables. These all are going to play very crucial roles in terms of giving this a right motion, giving this a right direction. And all three of these blocks are very essential to consider when we're trying to build or develop anything for the metaverse. And things are already happening and taking motion in the industry. As we look at, there are pretty massive initiatives from diverse industries and sectors which are trying to push these boundaries constantly. NVIDIA's Metaverse, Omniverse is a very versatile new tool that brings cohesion to 3D workflows. What was before, using 10 different tools to constantly import and export compatible sets, file sets now are easily connected to one. You can hassle-free create anything and compile everything without thinking about compatibility or utilizing different tools constantly or rendering different things in different locations as well. It's all done in one place. Roblox and Fortnite are the most epic examples of platforms that have hosted millions of players and people to witness a singular event from different perspectives. Not just that, even give them the power to create certain experiences of their own and deploy it for other people. Microsoft is pushing workspaces to metaverse in a more in between direction where it makes things more accessible for the audience, where they don't necessarily need to have high tech gears. They just need to open Microsoft Teams and open up their virtual avatars and be present in front of other people, amongst other people, without having smart wearables or VR or AR or any kind of technology as such, other than what we currently have. They're taking small steps in the right direction. There are more than enough work for enthusiasts like us. It's just a matter of looking around. Food for thought. There's one common focus across all of it: identity. And as quoted by a famous speculative tech person, Eric, identity will be the most valuable commodity for citizens in the future, and it will exist primarily online. Why he said so? We've already talked about a little bit about identity and ownership and virtual experiences being mainstream and embedding of those virtual experiences in the real world. Now, identity and ownerships is what brings us into the world of NFTs. We've seen many conglomerates holding innumerable amount of data, right, on us and everything around us. The amounts of data they have is next to impossible to understand or to comprehend, right? But the moment we talk about blockchain and distributed data dynamics, the supremacy of such organizations collapse. On the other hand, your data could be anything. It could be stored privately and securely as NFTs in the blockchain come to play. They empower ownership over your content to create, modify, or even remove it at your own will. And you don't need to have a lot of technical knowledge about it. You just need to be a little bit, little bit aware of what they are and how they work. And at the same time, it also creates a possibility to transfer all of these ownerships, assets, and data that you have stored online to another individual, or maybe two. We're talking about a lot of people, a lot of distributed networks, a lot of distributed governance here. So, what's NFT? I've used a lot of words over here, but when you look at it, you don't need to, when you look at it as a whole, as a big picture, it's basically a system, a transaction system or a contract system where you don't need to rely on servers or on platforms to do certain things that I talked about previously. You can do it with some amount of knowledge on smart contracts. You can decentralize your data without having to give it to certain platforms or certain organizations. You can own it completely, and you can actually exchange it based on your terms and your conditions. Now, use cases of NFTs include real estate, art, games, music, and even blocks of code if you want. It's a transparent system when one can create uh, and own their experience as we sort of see in the real world, but better and immune to sort of longer investigations to prove that this is something that you own, this is something that you created yourself, and it's not plagiarized. So three key requirements to sort of create your own NFT. These are very basic things that you sort of require certain knowledge about. Crypto. Cryptocurrency is another sort of, it's basically a digital currency that we see trending again alongside NFTs, which are fueling certain transactions, becoming a topic of investment as we speak. So cryptocurrency is one of the steps that you need to own Ethereum, Polygon, Tezos, or any kind of crypto that is needed to sort of create some sort of transaction to hold your NFT or to hold your asset onto the blockchain. Besides that, you need some sort of wallet. You need some sort of space where you can store all of these, right? You can store all of your assets, you can store all of your currencies, just like real wallets or bank accounts, but these will be distributed and nobody gets access to it but you. To conduct all of these, you basically need these wallets. They're in different forms. MetaMask for Ethereum or Polygon. Ledger is another, which is a hardware wallet, which is a more secure wallet to store your NFTs or store your cryptocurrency or your assets. And finally, the third part, once we go to it, is the asset itself. Now, it could be a block of code, it could be a music piece, it could be a ticket to go somewhere, or it could be a land certificate, which gets distributed on the blockchain, and you own it, or you can share it with people who needs to own it, who wants to own it, at your terms. Why I always focus on doing your own research is because there are catches for now. Since mass adoption, we've seen a lot of things happening in the crypto world, in the NFT world. It has increased pressure over the community who was already building it on a low key side to, mass create it, mass develop it. The mining facilities that we already talk about to create crypto or to conduct these transactions for NFTs are getting scarce as restrictions are put on them in different regions. And all of this basically comes with a few consequences which only adoption and acceptance can resolve. Gas fees is another term that you might hear in the world of blockchain and NFTs. It's a small amount or a large amount that is required for you to pay in terms of your cryptocurrency to make any sort of actions happen on the blockchain. Now, it could be something like creating your own contract, putting your asset on the blockchain, or transferring this asset to someone else. Digital wallet exploits is another red signal that we are facing currently, which happens in every different industry where people try to scam one another, but people try to deploy certain exploits to, uh, you know, theft, basically steal certain assets from the digital wallet or real wallet as well in certain cases. In that case, your digital wallets end up being prone to such exploits or such thefts, which is why I mentioned before, hardware wallet are one of the most secure ways to store your assets like this. But this is something that rarely happens, and this is something that you can avoid by following certain practices, which includes, removing access from revoking access from certain platforms that you are unaware about. Don't sign certain contracts or don't confirm transactions where on platforms which you don't know, or which you're not aware about. On the other hand, the third and the most important one is basically regulation, and which comes with high taxes in certain regions. India currently has 30% taxes for digital assets to get liquidated, for crypto to get liquidated on profits. So these things are currently variable in a lot of gray area. People are still figuring it out. Governments are still figuring it out, and it'll take time for things to adapt and settle down a little bit, for things to get normal, and where taxes become more adaptive and acceptable for the community who's creating uh, NFTs and for the metaverse. So these are one of the like three of these things which are sort of something pointers that you need to be careful about. So read up about it. There's so much data, there's so much information that I cannot possibly give you in this limited time, and there's so much technical knowledge that you can gain, so much experiential knowledge that you can gain, and I'm just touching upon some of these aspects that you should be aware about, you should be curious about, and you should do your own research. Really, just do your own research because it's very important. I'm not the perfect expert to explain everything to you because even I'm exploring the space as we speak about it. I've been here for more than a year into this space, and I still talk about it as I'm a new guy. So yeah, I mean, those are a couple of things, and there are more things which come as we expand the space around us. But there are a couple of things that I'd like to mention that you can take away as best practices for your own interests. So transparency is the key to the good project, as I've mentioned. When you sort of create your own NFT, create your own project, uh, when you're deploying that and sharing that with people, always share vital details to all your audience. They should not be kept in the shadows, they should not be kept in the darkness. uh, it could be in the form of roadmap, it could be in the form of perks that they might get, it could be in the form of what kind of output they're going to invest in, what kind of output they're going to get if they actually purchase your project or invest in your project. It builds trust within the community, not just for you but for other people who are trying to put effort to create NFTs and create metaverse experiences. Avoid using wallet everywhere. Like I mentioned before, it's very prone to, at least your digital wallet, it's very prone to, it may pose a risk to get exploited in different ways if you're not aware about it. So do not connect your wallet everywhere to unknown platforms. And if you get unknown requests, you should read it. If it's something that you're not aware about, you can reject it, you can revoke those access, and your assets will basically be safe. It's nothing to worry about. Now, when we're talking about NFTs and metaverse and blockchain, we already know there are a lot of environmental concerns that are growing around us. It creates heat signals, it creates a lot of carbon footprint, and we as creators, we as developers, can lend a hand here in, you know, reducing this footprint by a little bit, one step at a time. And by that you can invest. By that, what I mean is basically you can invest in carbon offset programs. There are different platforms which are now integrating these certifications and programs into their own platform, where you can spend a small amount of your crypto when you're creating these NFT projects to give to these communities and initiatives who are working towards creating more carbon offset for you. So you don't have to do the work. You just have to pay a little bit to them so that they can give back. You can give back Earth a little bit from your own ventures. There is a lot of things. There is a lot of organizations that are working towards this, uh, and so are cryptocurrencies itself. Ethereum is trying to create Ethereum 2.0, which will be a little more much more sustainable, much more faster. Um, Polygon is already there, who are one of the most widest used after Ethereum to conduct NFT transactions, and they're very sustainable. They're doing it, they're super fast, and people are adopting to it quite a lot. And lastly, don't give up on these ventures, because this can feel overwhelming. There's a lot of information on this that you may or may not know. It's okay to make mistakes. Just stick there, try to stick around and take your time to lay out all of your projects, all of your different experimentations in this tech for yourself, and make sure you're trying to give back while you're trying to take something from this projects of your own. Finally, what I'd like to say is that it's the metaverse and not a metaverse. It's not one single space, because it's a multi-dimensional, multiversal area where everybody is going to be contributing. It's led by a new generation, an abundant, generation where we all are creators in our own way. We may be technical artists, we may be, design artists, we may be more traditional artists, or even just developers. It's for everyone and by everyone. And the industry and initiatives will decentralize and come to its terms, where NFTs are going to be accepted by everyone at some point, and distributed governance and ownership is going to play a huge role as we move forward. And hopefully, with certain careful steps in terms of ethics, accessibility, and inclusion, we are going to be able to shape this in the right direction, and we'll all be a part of this technological revolution. And I think with this, I'd like to conclude how to design and what's the metaverse and NFTs, and how to design for it in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this insightful session. I'm sure our audience would have enjoyed a lot and learned a lot from the insightful session. And guys, if you have any queries, please write it down in the comment section. We'll try our best to answer them. We have some more minutes with us. You can contribute them towards your queries. And thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. And till then, they feel to like to ask any queries, we have some queries with us, which they already have given.
Sure.
So shall we start with those queries?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. So, sir, the first question which we have with us is, what makes an NFT valuable?
So when we talk about NFT, it's basically a piece of code. But what makes it valuable is the piece of code that is attached to your own asset. Now, this asset, as I talked about, could be just a piece of paper with a tiny scribble. But when you talk about creating an NFT out of M.F. Hussein's painting or Picasso's painting, that's what makes it valuable. It's your own reflectance. It's the creator's reflectance which makes it valuable. So which is why I sort of also emphasized on when you're creating a project, right? When you're creating an NFT, you need to make sure you're giving them that amount of transparency, that amount of information, why they should buy it, why they should invest in it, and why is it valuable. Now you get to decide why it's valuable, but it's essentially you that makes it valuable.
Okay, sir. The own individualism makes it valuable. Thank you so much for this
Correct.
great explanation. Sir, moving on to our next question, which is, are NFTs the future of arts and collectibles?
Um, NFT is the present of art and collectibles as we speak about it. Uh,
So,
People who were even traditional artists or traditional designers have moved or are already inclined towards NFTs to reach a wider audience. Okay, they have been doing this for generations, they have been doing this for decades already, and they just have to shift, and they just have to put a little bit effort, or they're just putting a little bit effort to get into this domain. And as I talked about it, I experienced this myself when uh, I went to Days, which was one of the first India's NFT exhibitions, which happened in a physical gallery in Delhi. And the gallery owners and the gallery contributors were themselves invested and themselves very curious about how they can move forward and enable all of these traditional artists to take part in NFTs. And it's just a little bit of studying, it's just a little bit of collaboration, and I think you just need to reach out to people. So I don't think it's a future, it's already here. People are already putting their physical art case, assets, physical artworks, and physical designs and sculptures on the digital platforms.
true, sir. And I'm sure many of our audience watching this episode and this session right now are engaging or going to engage in NFTs very soon after the session. And I'd like them to discover their own ways of collecting NFTs. So, without any further ado, let's move on to our next question, sir. How are NFTs working with digital art?
So NFTs again is just a technology. They're just pieces of code that gets attached or associated to your art or digital art. They're not literally getting embedded into your art, so you always own the original piece. But when you talk about certification, right, that okay,
Yes, sir.
this is my piece, and how can I say that it's my piece or it's original? This is when NFT comes into play. It attaches some amount of code to it to make sure it's traceable back to you. So no matter who copies it or who owns it at this point, who buys it, if it goes to another owner, if someone else buys it from them, and so on and so forth, it will always be traced back to you that you were the creator of this. And this is what sort of legitimizes your digital art, and that's how it comes into play in synchrony or in symphony with digital art. Otherwise, like there's a meme about it, or people actually make fun about it, that you can already copy, right click and save as image, right, or save
Yes,
as
sir.
video. Then what's the value in NFTs? But it's basically people investing in you in the end. So no matter what you create, as long as it's valuable to the world in real world, it will be valuable in the digital world as well. And it's you who's going to create it.
That's true, sir. And that's very inspirational, also, sir. Thank you so much. So, moving on to our next
I
question.
hope that answered though. I mean,
Yes,
if this still have
definitely.
okay.
Definitely, because every artist had their own digital arts which they need to preserve and
Right.
to own also. So moving on to our next question, are there any downsides to NFTs?
Downsides to NFTs only mostly currently include accessibility, because
Okay.
it's digital, digital first and crypto first. it's very difficult for certain people to get hands on it or get
Exactly.
comfortable with it. So that's sort of a downside which people, like, the community is trying to get forward or move forward, and help people one another. But it's still one of the most important aspect, which is creating a bottleneck amongst the community. The second part of it being cryptocurrency itself, because it's still not mainstream or it's still not accepted completely, and people are trying way too hard to regulate it. It's causing a lot of trouble for the ecosystem itself, where
That's mining.
uh, yeah, exactly. So it's creating a lot of complexity. It's creating a lot of pressure on those facilities to give you the service. So the more people accept it, the more people initiate doing their own ventures in it, the more accessible it's going to become, and which will in return give you lesser costs of transactions, charges, and even faster transactions or faster ecosystems in the end.
That's true. So that major challenge for NFTs right now is the trust issues for cryptos, basically. The to get
Exactly.
the
It's basically acceptance and a little bit of information and exposure
information.
towards it. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
step one. And step two will come in hand the moment people start accepting it, and at the
Accepting it.
same time governments start accepting it.
Regularizing it. Exactly.
Yeah, and instead of putting restrictions constantly because they're scared of losing ownership towards certain things, they should just accept it in certain ways as they are, because
Exactly.
in the end government is also run by people, and if people are not happy, then things will go down in the wrong direction anyway. So just trust those people who are running it, trust those people who are going to drive it in certain direction.
That's really nice. That's really insightful, sir. Sir, so our next question is, what does the future of NFTs look like?
Future of NFTs. I kind of just a second. I kind of mentioned briefly about it that NFTs right now are just directly associated to artworks or code, or games as well. But even that's not mainstream. But the thing is, people are trying to find different use cases with this. Uh, I came up, like, there are a lot of different ventures. I came up with another idea, which was, can you actually send a ticket to someone via an NFT? Can you actually certify or validate your degree with NFTs because you're going to own it? So use cases are going to span across different domains. It could be real estate as well. You could buy a land that you have
In
never
metaverse?
seen. Yeah, in metaverse or even in real life actually, that you've never seen. It's a project that's ongoing and you might get it 10 years later, but in the metaverse is going to enable you to visualize it, how it's going to look, how you're going to live in it. You may also adapt to it in the virtual world by the time it's actually being built in the real world, and 10 years down the line you might actually be able to live it in the physical world. So there are endless possibilities to when it comes to future of NFTs.
That's really insightful, sir. So we have a question in us with us in the comment section, and it's asked by
Sure.
Mr. Nitish, and he's asking, sir, as government imposed 30% tax on crypto, do you think this is going to affect the NFT
um,
market?
so I think it will affect NFT market for a small duration. uh,
Okay,
the upside to looking at 30% tax is that our government has finally accepted crypto officially. So
officially.
you're not going to jail for it unless you don't file your taxes.
Exactly.
30%, yes, is a lot of money. That a lot of part of the asset that goes into tax, but so is a lot of other taxes, including import duty tax and a lot of other things which are currently still variable. Yeah, even if they have certain slabs, they're still quite high, and they reach as high as 30% or even further. So I don't think it's new for people to pay 30% tax. Is this because it's crypto is completely new in our country and a lot of regions as well.
Yes, sir.
it'll take time for this to become more acceptable and accessible. And this 30% may later go down. This 30% may later be divided according to different slabs. You know, maybe
Maybe there may be
different
some
amount of
reductions
profits.
and exemptions also.
Correctly, like you may be able to get certain returns on it at a later point. So
Exactly.
it's just a start. So I think it's just a small phase where it's going to affect, but just keep at it. You don't really need to liquidate your crypto assets necessarily to show that pay these taxes necessarily. Like it's just a method for you to liquidate it, which is taxed at 30%. um, but yeah, good days are ahead. Don't worry about it.
That's really nice, sir. So, do you think how can we influence the elder generation who are not from Gen Zs to have more trust in NFTs? How can we convince them? What is the main reason which we can give them?
So we can. So the thing is, collectibles have been around us. Souvenirs have been around us
Exactly.
for
From
ages, and
yes, sir.
they are going to be there. If you go to Jaipur, you're going to collect some
Museums.
Rajasthani relics. You're going to collect certain souvenirs for your loved ones as well. And there are a lot of artisans who are putting a lot of effort to make those. But half the people may not even come to know who those people are.
Exactly.
What NFTs are doing is basically giving them a name, putting them into the light. So if you try to explain to your granddad or your let's say an older generation who has not even completely accepted technology in layman's terms, I think even if they're not going to interact with it, they will accept it. They will encourage people to, explore more in that avenue, and maybe uh, all the curious folks might end up also putting effort into this domain themselves. I mean, I know a couple of people in my community whose parents have started to invest into NFTs, um, whose grandparents put their valuable assets to power those ventures for their grandchildren, to make sure they are there at the top of it when this thing get mainstream. And so many different ventures that I've seen, experiences that I've seen, examples that I've seen around me that are happening. It may not be directly related to them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be associated to it in some form or the other. You just need to explain them in a very layman's term. That's all.
I'm sure we'll be getting NFTs as gift within 10 years.
Definitely. Yeah,
Thank
we're
you so
already
much.
doing it to some extent, but I think there will be a
At
time when anybody and everybody can just give
gift
people
exactly.
NFTs instead of gift cards.
I hope it will affect the business of gifts. So our
Sure, yeah.
next question will be, what are some of the best platforms to showcase the NFT? Like, in your opinion, is metaverse inevitable, or is it just another passing trend tech topic that will lose hype?
Um, and metaverse is just a term that has been coined for a space that has already existed in many different forms around us,
Yes,
in the
sir.
form of games, in the form of interactive shows, and so many different things. It's just a term to sort of pinpoint that, okay, this is a metaverse, this is called a metaverse experience because this has certain properties. So I'm sure it's because it's already existed, it's going to exist later, regardless of what people are talking about. And can you repeat the first part of it? I think you had something
Uh,
related to NFTs,
yes,
right?
sir. So what are the some best platforms to showcase NFTs?
Yeah, so one of the, I think there isn't a best or few best platforms to showcase NFTs. It depends on the kind of NFT that you're trying to showcase or display. If it's a
Okay.
collectible, there are certain spaces like Rarible or OpenSea, which are known more for being
Okay.
sustainable to people in terms of economy and in terms of environment as well, to uh, put your NFTs forward. If you're talking about very specific one-on-ones or very exclusive pieces of work. Then Foundation, Super Rare, Maker's Place. There are a couple who are there which are doing, pitching one-on-ones or you know all of these in exclusives format more. But it really depends. It's more towards where your collectors are, where your audience is. If your real life audience is one-on-one exclusive collectors, they don't want too many of them there, then you might redirect them to Foundation. But um, I think there are different kind of collector audiences which are already there on those platforms, and they look for different things, which keeps changing actually. So I can't pinpoint that. Okay, if you want to put your work forward, you only need to put it on Foundation, or it won't be tagged as valuable or exclusive. It'll still be unique. It'll still be very good. It'll still be very valuable in many different ways. You just need to either redirect your collector or your audience, or find those platforms which has a similar audience to what you've created.
And that's a nice explanation. So, moving on to our last question of this session. So, any last advice for metaverse developers?
I would say just keep making mistakes into this field, because the more crazier you go, the more you can regulate it eventually. And uh, I think I'll share my deck after this as well for people to look back at, and sort of get a
Yes, yes.
retrospect of what are these avenues. There are a lot of avenues. If you're a hardware developer or a product developer, you can still work towards creating better internet. You can still create better wearables. You can still create better haptic technology, and so many different things. Um, just don't stop. If you're a designer or a digital developer, just start exploring smart contracts. Just start exploring cryptocurrency. Get familiarized with how to write smart contracts. It's not that different, as long as you know the logic that you will apply in any sort of different languages that you write. So just read up a little bit. There will be a couple of communities, there will be a couple of documentation which is already there for you to get started. And there are a lot of advanced communities as well. So once you reach there, you can reach out to different people. You can actually reach out to me as well. I can connect you to a couple of initiatives that are working towards development into this field, so you can get more familiarized with it. But just don't stop experimenting. That's the part that's going to push this technology forward, and that's going to push you forward into adapting to this distributed or decentralized uh, space.
That's really insightful, and thank you for inculcating so many things into us, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Also, we have shared the LinkedIn profile of our very special guest today, and do follow him, connect with him to get to know him and more guidance from him. And thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And we'll appreciate and we'll welcome you again as soon as possible.
For
Uh,
sure, yeah. It's been a pleasure to be here and to be able to share this plethora of information that's been lying around. And like there was so much that I had to make sure I'm just trying to touch upon every aspect which is important for people to know. But I think I still missed out on a lot of things which is coming on top of my head right now. So
I'm sure they'll connect
we'll,
with
yeah,
you. I'm sure they'll
definitely.
connect with you and get more guidance on this topic and, of course, on many other aspects as well on NFTs and metaverse. And guys, if you have any query and anything, just connect with Mr. Siddhant Singh. And we have given the LinkedIn link in the comment section. Do connect with him and have more conversation about these topics. And we thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We appreciate it, and we really thankful for your insightful session. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
and
much as well. Yeah.
thank you so much. Stay tuned with us, guys. We'll be coming again tomorrow with another day four of Design Development Days. And I'm sure you guys are very excited for yet another amazing session, which will be coming tomorrow. And you'll join us. Do connect with LinkedIn of Designer. and have great sessions coming ahead every now and then. And you never know when you'll get a pop-up, like there's an event coming, and we want you to join. We want you to connect with us for more such insightful sessions, and we'll be coming with yet another bang on sessions. We have share Please share the designer link in the comment section, and I'm sure you guys will join with us. Thank you so much for joining in today. Due to some technical error, we have to end this today only. But just connect with designer, and we have the link in the comment section. Connect with us, connect with me. We'll share all your queries. We'll fulfill your doubts. And do join tomorrow also. We have a designathon. Will be coming bang on another with another session. Thank you so much for joining, and that's it for today. We'll love to host you tomorrow also. Do connect with us tomorrow also. Thank you so much, guys.